Hey guys, my name's Aranan and we are back with our third video. I actually recorded the whole video just minutes ago, but suddenly the audio files just disappeared, so here I am recording it again. But thank you so much for all the support that you guys have shown so far. We've hit 110 subscribers, which is literally insane considering we've only put out 2 videos so far. So thank you so much for that. And moving on, we are drawing a panda playing the flute, a bamboo flute. In terms of the inspiration for this drawing, I wanted to draw something a little more cute because previously I've been drawing a lot of portraits and it can be quite draining when you have to try and match it up to the reference image as much as possible. So here I have a little more creative freedom. So I looked up panda images on Google and I found a really nice image of a panda, I think chewing on a bamboo stick, and so it gave me the thought of drawing a panda playing the flute, a bamboo flute. Okay, so moving on to my drawing process, I initially laid down a sketch. It probably took about 2 to 3 minutes, using my favourite brush, the Inka brush found in the inking section. And then I moved on to the more refined line artwork. I used to really hate this process because I thought that you had to be, really exact with all your lines and they had to be really smooth, etc. But recently, especially with the sort of style that I'm now adopting, I'm a lot more fluid and a lot more rough with my lines, and so I'm not constrained by having to be perfect all the time, and it's really helped me out in terms of mapping out my characters and giving them some sort of life instead of being quite bland and fixed and rigid. Now here we are moving on to our colouring stage. I initially put a base colour of creamy blue hue, sort of, just to give the canvas some sort of life, and then I started placing down the base colours of the panda. And pandas aren't that complex, so they really only have 2 base colours really, the creamy white and the greyish black. As you can probably tell, I'm not that systematic with my approach to drawing. I generally just do whatever I feel like, whenever I feel like doing it. For example, I haven't actually completed laying down all the base colours for the panda, but I suddenly just start going into details under the panda's eyes. I'm not sure what the black part of a panda's eyes are called, but feel free to educate me on that. I think an important part of this drawing is establishing where the light source is coming from. So as you can probably already tell, the light source is coming from the right hand side because you can see the slight shadows towards the left hand side of the panda's face, and now you can see the shadows coming into the left hand side of the body as well. In terms of creating that sense of depth and utilizing light and shadow, I generally choose a colour that's slightly darker than my base colour and then fill in the shadows from there, and then repeat the same process and choose a slightly darker colour than that. So for example, on the panda's belly you can see 3 different colours. The base colour, or actually there's 4, the 4th one being the highlight, but the 3 main ones are the main portion of the belly, and then the next colour, the slight shadow on the left of it, and a darker one to the left of that. In hindsight, I probably should have made the flute a little bit more vibrant, but oh well, it's done now, and on to the next one, I guess. Finally, we have finished inking the panda, and now we are moving on to the scenery. I wanted to put something, to the left of him to keep the image somewhat busy. If it was just him on the ground, then I feel like there wouldn't be enough to make the image interesting, but I added in the tree and made sure that it fit in with the light source, so you can see that the shadows are on the left of the tree and the highlights to the right of it. To add to that sense of depth, I added in shadows underneath the panda, and moving on to the sky, I sort of just winged it with this one. I just added a bunch of random different colours and used the gouache brush and used the Gaussian blur to blur it out. But even then, the colours didn't quite cut it for me. I wanted something else in the background to make it a little more busy. So I remembered that I downloaded a tree brush set from online, and so I added in some trees in the background to make it a little more busy and, you know, just a little more interesting. Okay, so we have reached the end of our video here. Here's a short time lapse for you, and thank you so much for staying to the end and watching this, and be sure to like, subscribe, comment and share it with your friends. And I'll be back with another video real soon.